I pushed the button. You're on the air.
Good morning, Miss Donna. I appreciate
Good
you
morning.
having me on. It's been a while since I've been on here and to talk about Martins Creek School. And I was talking with Miss Leslie Letford a week or so ago, and she said, they're going to try to get back in the routine of coming on, and talking about just different things in Cherokee County schools. But appreciate, like I said, you working us in. I had two things I wanted to let your listeners know about. First off, this Saturday, our PTO is sponsoring. It's kind of it's a cute title. I don't know how many of our kids will actually catch the meaning of the title, but it's called Boo Bayou, and it's right. It's a Halloween event, and it covers pretty much all our ages that we have there, pre-K through middle school. There's something for everybody. So in the front parking lot, they'll have trunk or treat, which most folks are familiar with that format, I guess you'd say. If not, basically the way it works is everybody opens their trunks or the back ends of their vehicles. They decorate them, make them scary, Halloween theme, and kids just go around to those trunks and trick or treat and get candy that way. And that part's free, and that's in the front parking lot. And again, it's pre-K through fifth for the trunk or treat. And we've been trying to this year partner with Peachtree School down the road, kind of our sister school, I guess you'd say, because when you're smaller schools like that, sometimes it's hard. You have less resources to work with, so we try to include them and work with them. So any kids in the Martins Creek community or the Peachtree community are welcome, even homeschool kids in that community. We thought about opening it up, countywide, but it would take a lot of candy to do that. We're not going to turn any kids away, of course, who show up. But so that'll be in the front part, and that's at 5:30 this Saturday, 5:30, and then inside the building, starting just after that, as kids finish their candy getting, they can or collecting, I should say, they can go on in, and there's Subway and different things like that they can buy to eat, they and their parents. And then beginning at 6 is the Haunted Swamp, hence the Boo Bayou. That's going to be set up in our library. That too is for the pre-K through 5 kids, and they can kind of go in through one entrance and make their way through that. And we have a little side entrance if anybody decides this is a little too scary. They can just kind of veer off to the right and go out another entrance or exit, I should say. But if they go through the whole thing, then they kind of exit out the far end. And I think that's based on tickets. Like you can go in so many times for so many tickets. And then I mentioned the middle school kids. There will be a Halloween dance kind of on the other side of the building in the gym. And that's 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock for our 6th through 8th graders. Admission to that is $5, and that covers their concessions. And anyone middle school age can come to that, just no elementary or high school for the dance. But so that was a lot of information there. That's all happening Saturday. Yep, 5:30, wrapping up 8 or 8:30ish there. There will be a DJ, I forgot to mention, for that dance. So hopefully some good Halloween music that the middle school kids will still enjoy. But that was the one thing, one of the two things I wanted to talk about. The other thing is on November 9th, which is the second Saturday in November, we'll be holding our 7th annual Martins Creek School Car Show. And that event is always a lot of fun, raises a lot of money for the school. Last year, the weather was a little cool, and so we had maybe in the neighborhood of 60-something cars. But prior to that, when we've been fortunate with the weather, we've had over 100 cars. And good food. Mr. Sellers grills up burgers and hot dogs, and we have all that. Have music, of course, and things like that. And of all the car shows that I know or I have been to, we are fortunate enough to give out way more door prizes to our car owners. Almost everybody there leaves with something. And it's $10 to register a car or $8 if they call ahead. We call that kind of the early bird registration. All they got to do is call and say who they are and what car they'll be bringing. and we leave a little note at the gate, and they get that early bird entry. Just parents, kids, community who want to just walk around and look at the cars, that's totally free, no admission for them. And this year we were trying to find some way to kind of put a new wrinkle on it, because this, like I say, will be our 7th time doing it. So we thought, how cool would it be if we could raffle off a classic car. And we're excited about it too. And we were very fortunate, I should say, that Kimbrell's Classics, which is a dealership that specializes in classic cars, worked with us, and they have made it so easy. And so we are going to be raffling off a 1946 custom Chevy pickup. And I know it's silly to bring pictures to the radio station, but I thought at least you could see that.
Wow.
And
totally awesome.
it's a very cool truck. It's very fast too. I got to drive it from their location over to the school, and it has a 400-inch cubic inch engine in it, small block 400, and it's automatic, so anybody can drive it. It's very easy to drive. Has leather interior, air conditioning, power brakes, power windows, power steering. So it's just a really fun little ride that somebody could walk away with. In that picture, the flames look a little bit blue, but in this bigger one, and we didn't plan it that way, but it's actually our school colors.
Is it purple?
Purple, yeah. Purple flames on a yellow truck. So that's perfect for us, for Martins
I might
Creek.
have to buy a ticket to that.
Yeah, I hope you do. We have our official rules available too for anybody who wants to see those. No Martins Creek School employee can buy a ticket. Cherokee County Schools employees can, and of course friends and neighbors of school employees can. But the part that would appeal to me if I were able to buy a ticket is that only 2,000 tickets will be sold. And so that gives you really good odds. I can't think of another time that you're going to have that good of odds of winning something that was actually valued at $22,000. They're working with us, and so only $10,000 of the raffle money would go to them. And if you do the math, that means $90,000 would go to our school, which we could do some major projects with that. We could put air conditioning in our gym, just a lot of programs and equipment for the kids. So we're really excited. Now, ideally, we would have all 2,000 sold by the car show, and we would draw at the car show. We've only sold about 100 so far, so that's probably not going to happen, but we're going to make our best effort. And we have 1 year's time. So we're going to sell tickets for up to 1 year. But as soon as we reach 2,000 tickets, of course, we would draw. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. $50 a ticket. I forgot to say that.
Yeah, y'all can do that math, right? Okay.
I forgot to say this too, for anybody who's listening out there. We tried to get it set up through PayPal or some other means like that, but we really couldn't do that. So anyone who wanted to buy a ticket, they could just call the school or mail a check to Martins Creek School at our school address. They can find that on the website. It's there on Toby Stockup Road, so it's a Murphy address.
1459 Toby Stockup Road.
Yep. And you mail us a check, we'll mail you a ticket. And so, yeah, hoping a lot of people will participate and somebody will walk away a very happy owner, and they could, I'm sure, turn around and sell that truck.
I know you're so upset that you can't buy it.
Oh, I'd love to have that truck. Yeah,
you can't buy a ticket. I'm sorry.
It'd be very fun to drive around. We're going to try to take it to a few car shows and different events. Our school resource officer, Jessica Crawford, has volunteered to drive it to the car show coming up this weekend in Hayesville. There's a car show up there. I haven't talked with Coach Gentry yet to get his okay, but we were going to see if we could also take it to the Robbinsville-Murphy game. That's coming up the Friday before our car show, so perfect timing, and I know there'd be huge crowds there, but have to make sure that's okay with him first. But we want to get it out there and let people see how fantastic it is and how much fun it would be to own.
All right. Okay, so you've got that going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it may take a year in order to get all those tickets sold.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have the car show on, you said November 9th?
Yes, ma'am. November 9th from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And every year but one, we've had really great weather. And if you're familiar with our campus, I can't think of a more picturesque place to do that, where the cars are parked there and you're looking down that Brasstown Valley and the mountains and everything. So,
Very picturesque.
oh yeah, it's a great experience, really, when the weather works out. You made me think of something there. If I can draw it back to mind, as far as that car show and the truck. Here's something that people might wonder about, so I thought I would just explain. Somebody might wonder, well, why, don't be greedy. Why are you trying to get $90,000? What about if you got to 1,800 tickets or 1,500 tickets? Why not go ahead and draw? Because that'd still be a ton of money for the school. So here's the reason behind that. Before we started this, I had to research the general statutes, North Carolina general statutes, which say that a nonprofit can hold up to 4 raffles in a year, and on a single raffle you can make up to $125,000. But 90% of the money has to go to the nonprofit, and only 10% can go toward the cost of the prize. So Kimbrell's Classics, they've already given like a 55% discount, but they really can't go any lower than $10,000 for this truck, which I totally understand. I mean, the paint job alone, the engine, all those things. So in order for them to get 10, we have to get 90.
Right.
That's why we could not draw unless we sold
All
at
2,000
least all
tickets.
2,000. Worst case scenario, if we didn't make it there in a year's time, we would just refund everybody's money and let them know we had to cancel the raffle. But hopefully that wouldn't happen.
And they get their classic truck back. Oh, man.
Yes, Kimbrell's
No,
would.
y'all
Yeah.
need to buy some tickets, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, very fun to drive too. Like I said, it's I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say I drove recklessly, but I did drive enough to see how fast that it could easily go. And I was going up Heddon Road, and this doe deer runs out to the edge of the road and runs back, and I said, "There's your reminder. Slow down."
All right, now tell us again about the things going on this Saturday.
Okay.
You've got, I love that, Boo Bayou. That's so cute. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
our PTO ladies came up with that. But so the Boo Bayou, that starts at 5:30. It's this Saturday. It's open to all kids ages pre-K through 8th grade in the Peachtree community or Martins Creek community, whether they go to our school or not. And the trunk or treat is going to be in the front of the school parking lot. It's totally free. If folks just want to come to that and go home, that's fine.
Okay.
And they can just circulate around and get candy out of the back of those vehicles. There's a whole lot of other details, that I didn't mention, like there's a jack-o'-lantern decorating contest. There's a costume contest. There's all kinds of little things like that built in. But the big 3 components, I guess you would say, the trunk or treat in the front, and then the haunted swamp inside our library, which
does not have water in it, okay?
only simulated, I guess.
Simulated swamp.
But there's some really creative people working on that. They're going to work on it all week long. The PTO president actually has a degree in kind of decorating, so they're going to make it really realistic looking, I think, and kind of spooky. And there'll be food, of course, and then the middle school dance for those 6th graders through 8th graders with a DJ. That'll be in the gym down there.
And that's $5.
That's $5, yes.
Okay. But it also includes the concessions.
The concessions.
Inside the dance.
Yeah, some little
right.
snacks and things.
Well,
Thank you so much for letting me blab all that out there. And
do I get to keep this?
you can keep that. That's on the WKRK Facebook page, I think. And we're trying to share it out with and so anybody, whether you buy a ticket or not, if you're listening to this and you do social media, please share that. Pull it from. I know very little about Facebook. Let me add that in there. But
Okay.
if they
Yeah,
can pull
you
it from
share
your
it from the
page,
WKRK page.
yeah, your page, our page, wherever they see it, if they'll share it out to all their folks.
And it's not blue and bright yellow. It's purple.
Right. Purple flames on a yellow truck. It really pops.
Yes. Yes. All righty.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.